Hello again to you, and welcome back to Let's Play Splatoon 3. I was holding my breath. Don't try that at home. In today's video, we're going towards the Eco Forest Tree Hills. Whew, you've made it pretty far, huh? Looks like you can get to another site from there. That pipe must be the way back. Still no response from Gramps. Figures. Well, let's see what we can find here. Good luck. You didn't say it right. You had to say it like the guy in Star Fox. Good luck. I don't even like Star Fox. Why did I do that? Anyway, yeah. Welcome back to Let's Play Splatoon 3. If my voice sounds any different, no it doesn't. It is an optical illusion. I am not doing post-commentary in this because the original commentary files are stuck on an exploded computer. Thankfully, I had a backup for the video footage, but that's still an annoying thing to deal with. Anyway, yeah, moving on to the Eco Forest Tree Hills, we have our first level. And then I didn't read the name of it because I am bad at my job. You don't get paid to make... Ooh, this level! Okay, so this is the angle shooter level. The neat thing about this one is that you can like fire a baseball and you can make it bounce off walls and stuff like that. It's a pretty cool concept for alternate levels. I will say, I don't fully know how useful this would be in an actual online match. I've never really played this online, so I don't know how useful it actually would be during turf or rain anarchy battles or anything like that. But it makes them for some pretty cool levels in the story mode, so, you know, that's the important part. So basically the big gameplay gimmick we want to do is if we want to make it bounce off the wall and use that to destroy our enemies in cold blood. Yeah, this game is E-rated. So while we go across this, I'm going to tell a bit of a fun story. So, if you have been watching my channel recently at the time that I've uploaded this video, you may notice that there was a bit of a gap in between videos for a little while there. Yeah. My computer had exploded all of a sudden, and I wasn't able to work on Let's Plays for a little while. I wasn't really able to work on anything for a little while, except for actually recording stuff, because my capture card doesn't need to be plugged into a computer to work, so that's pretty nice. But, yeah. Like, that was not a fun thing to deal with. That computer had been running into problems for a while already. Like, it did have problems running me shutting off every now and then, but it did not get that bad until that certain time frame happened. So, to tell this full story, Pancake Garman and I, we were recording a video that, I don't know if we're going to try to record it again soon, now that my computer is, you know, not exploding anymore. But, we were recording a video for his channel, and in the middle of a recording session, my computer just randomly turns off, and I can't get it back on. Like, normally during problems like this, where it just turns itself off, I was able to get it back on a few minutes later. It was just not turning back on for anything. I was trying for an hour, and it just wasn't working. A couple days later, I turned it back on, and it worked for another hour, but then it turned off again. And then the following week, after I gave it some more time, I tried turning on it again, and it only worked for a split second before turning itself off. I was like, okay, yeah, there's definitely a problem with this that will probably be very expensive to replace, so... yeah, I am hoping to get taken to the Geek Squad soon, so I can at least recover my files, because there's a Mario Kart World video on there that I really want to restore, because I had a really funny episode with the guest star, and I'm really hoping to get it back soon at some point. But also because the fact that it has all the progress for the game I've been working on these past couple years, and I don't have a reliable backup of that saved. So, I'd really I'd rather not start from scratch on that, because I don't know if you know this, but making a game is hard. Thankfully, it's not too much of a waste if I do have to start from scratch on that, because how my process works for making games is that I keep a journal with me, and I'll write pseudocode for what I want to do in a game in a journal. And then when I'm working on my computer, I'm using that notebook as notes for actually working on it. So I do have notes for what work in a programming sense. It's just having to do all that all over again, and I'd rather not do that. So yeah, that's a super fun TED Talk for the day. But yeah, if I am able to get that back, that'd be great, because I'd be able to get those lost recording sessions back. The thing is, in terms of Let's Play stuff, it wouldn't lose a whole lot if I can't get it back. It's just that one video that I wasn't able to, that I can still re-record it if we have to. It's just that I'd really not want to do that because it was such a good video and it was finished. Like I finished editing it and it was just rendering when I was trying to not make the computer explode. It was not a good situation that happened. But thankfully, we got a new computer. This one's not exploded yet, and I'm really happy about that. Who's got 20 years and extra power eggs for you? This girl! The more fuzzballs and fuzzy ooze you destroy, the more you'll fill up your gauge. There's gotta be something more to that treasure. I wonder what we could do with it. Yes, let's go! A compulsive collector's paradise. So this new computer I've been working with, it's been working pretty great so far. I haven't had a chance to try using Game Maker Studio with it, so I don't know how reliable it'll be with actually working on games. And so far, editing has been pretty good. It's just that HitFilm renders videos a bit slower on this one than my old computer, but it's not too bad. It's been working pretty well so far. This right here is one of my personal favorite levels in the entirety of Alterna. So we have all these power eggs across the map, and we have to try to figure out the most efficient route to get all the power eggs with our ink brush while avoiding those grillers. This is a pretty fun one, and on the original recording file, like, I was just bursting with excitement. I was like, I'm so excited, we get to play this one again, it's gonna be so awesome! And that's lost for the ages now, so unfortunately, I can't replicate it without sounding not genuine. So, yeah, that's a little bit on the unfortunate side. But this is still a pretty cool level. It very much reminds me of Pac-Man. Anything that reminds me of Pac-Man is automatically a good thing because I like Pac-Man. Something funny was that, speaking of Pac-Man, this is kind of a silly story. So my grandpa, he's not super familiar with video games, but he does know about Pac-Man. And there's one time when he was teasing me about how much I eat pizza. Because the thing is, when I was a kid, I was like a vacuum cleaner when it came to food. Like, I could eat a bunch of food and not really gain a whole lot of weight, which was pretty nice. I wish that was the case nowadays, but, you know, that happens when you get older. I could eat like 6 slices of pizza and be okay, and I wouldn't really get affected too much with my weight. The thing is, I say that, but I also remember when I first started working at Disney, I was kind of chubby. Like, I was like kind of a chubby person when I started working at Disney, but then during my CP, I lost 80 pounds, and like I felt a lot better after that. So yeah, going back to the grandpa story. Yeah, my grandpa was teasing me about how much pizza I was eating that one night, and so I basically said that I was Pac-Man with pants. That was a fun interaction. One of my favorite things about my grandparents is that every single night for the past however many years they've been married, like every single night they always like watch 2 movies together. And whenever my family were to go visit them, we'd watch 2 movies with them. And the thing is, like, they fall asleep halfway through the first one, but they always still watch 2 movies every single night together. It's very sweet. There was a month straight where whenever we'd go visit them, they always wanted to watch Cars from, like, the Pixar movie. And that's a big reason why Cars is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's really sweet because they would pause the movie whenever there's a street, because they wanted to read all the street signs in there. My grandma would talk about every single model car down to the year that it came out, which is pretty impressive. And it was just a really sweet time watching movies with them. We're watching a lot of movies this year because one of the big things is that Avengers Doomsday is coming out later this year, and I'm really excited for it, so I've been trying to binge as much of the MCU as I possibly can. There's a couple here and there that I'm going to skip, like I didn't watch The Incredible Hulk or Thor the Dark World, but I've been binging the MCU in comparison for Avengers Doomsday. The most recent one I watched was Captain America Civil War. The next one I'm going to watch is Doctor Strange. I might already have watched it by the time this video comes out. And the thing is, I don't know how I'm going to handle the TV shows, because there's a lot of them, and they take a long time to go through. And the thing that annoys me about Disney Plus shows is that every episode is like an hour long, and that does not make it the most easy thing in the world to binge. Like, I can binge watch, like, The Simpsons or The Office as much as I want, because they're only like 20-minute episodes, and I feel like I don't waste a whole lot of time watching them. But with Disney Plus shows, each episode is an hour long, and it gets very tedious to try to binge watch them. So my current mindset is that I'm probably just going to stick with favorites, maybe 2 or 3 favorite shows, and maybe watch one episode of another show or something like that. Like, I haven't seen Moon Knight or Miss Marvel. I haven't seen any episodes from those ones. So I probably would fully binge watch Loki and WandaVision. Maybe just one episode of What If. I probably will also binge watch Hawkeye, now that I think about it. I remember really enjoying that one too. But now we're taking care of all that. Now it's time for us to move on to the magical land of alternate save file. And luckily, I still have all the commentary for this one, so you get to see live action reactions. Yippee! Whoosh! Museum Dolphincino. I always love making that sound effect. I remember one time, Gaming with Pi and I were streaming, and I made that sound effect, and he was all like, "Well, how did you do that? That was really good." And that made me feel bad, and that made me feel good and stuff. Anyway, yeah, Museum Dolphincino. We've seen the stage. Hey there, buddy. How do you feel about getting bubbles in your face? Ah, I see. You were trying to do a sneaky sneak on me, but it did not work because my powers of awesomeness are too powerful. Can't destroy this thing. Ah, we can. Be destroyed. Why does the thing have so much HP? Oh my god. But yeah, so, what kind of fun story can I talk about today? It's like, I don't want to tell a whole lot of stories that, like, could potentially date the video, but I guess there's one thing I could mention, is the fact that the day that I'm recording this video, it is currently June 3rd, and I say I don't want to do the video, but then I immediately say what day I'm recording this video on. But yeah, in about a week or so, I'm going to be going to Epic Universe the first time, and I am so excited. So, I was a bit worried at first that I wouldn't be able to do it, but the day that, because at first they only kind of have it available in, like, ticket bundles and stuff, but then they did a really cool thing where, you know, like a normal theme park, they let you buy a ticket individually. So, the day they announced that, I had, like, a really, really good paycheck, and I was like, okay, I have the ability to get a ticket now, and I wouldn't be able, I have the ability to get the ticket now, and I wouldn't be short on rent or anything like that. I'd be caught up with all my bills. So I went over to my roommate, and I was asking her, alright, I need you to talk me out of a bad idea. I can get the ticket, and I won't be short on rent. Talk me out of this. But then she encouraged me. She was like, no, do it! Do it! Do it! So, that was a fun story of me getting my Epic Universe ticket. At first, I was a little worried that it wouldn't go that well. Why do I keep pointing that? Okay, there we go. I was a little worried that it wouldn't go super well because I'm the only friend in my group who was able to get their ticket on my birthday as well, was James. But they increased the capacity for the part for that day after a bit, so I was able to get a couple more tickets for my friends, and that was pretty fun. Speaking of James, he's actually texting me while I'm recording this video. Yay! Yeah. So a couple more of my friends will be able to show up. That's gonna be super awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, like I'm pretty excited to go to Epic Universe this year. I think I'm most excited to go to is Super Nintendo World, and like I've already been to the one in California, but being able to have one that's like super close to where that's 10 years already. Yeah, Splatoon is also 10 years old now, and that's really hard for me to believe. We'll continue this talk in the next online match thing. And for once, I don't have to do a repeat match. This is the greatest day of my life. Alrighty then, so yeah, continuing my story. Super Nintendo. Those jellyfish are climbing the rocks. That's so cute. The frame rate is leaves a little to be desired, but they're just so adorable. That one's dangling on. Oh, never mind. It looked like it was dangling on the flag for a moment, but No, it's just climb on the wall, the funny angle. I gotta say, Scorch Gorge is probably the stage that stands the most out in this game. Because we never really had like a specific desert-themed area. The one thing I wish, though, was that, you know at the beginning of the game, the giant upside-down Eiffel Tower that shows up that like everybody was speculating on when the game first came out? I was really hoping that you could see that in the background of this one, too, but it's a different part of the desert, so I guess it's not really a thing when we're in this area. I'm gonna go this way, get rid of the sprinkler. I need to start using my sub-weapons more. That would be a little bit more, useful. That's always a problem that I've had with Splatoon in general, is that I've never been the best at using my special weapons or sub-weapons or anything like that. Alright, you're going down there now. And we already got you, never mind. So, going back to Epic Universe, Super Nintendo World is definitely the thing I'm most looking forward to. Because even though I've already seen it in California, I'm just excited to have something that's a lot more easily accessible to me, like where I live and stuff like that. And I'm also really excited for the Donkey Kong Coaster. That's gonna be awesome. And then alongside that, like Dark Universe, that one is also the one I'm really looking forward to. I go back and forth over whether I'm more excited for that one or Super Nintendo World. But I always go back to like Super Nintendo World whenever I think about that. But Dark Universe looks really awesome as well, because we never really had like a monsters themed area in a major theme park like this. So, like, having like a classic monsters and stuff like that is gonna be really awesome. And I've seen a lot of great videos of the Igor character in the park. He looks amazing. He kind of gives off like Stormtrooper or Kylo Ren vibes from Galaxy's Edge, but like a bit more interactive, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, Dark Universe looks pretty awesome. I'd say the one that I'm least looking forward to is probably going to be like the Ministry of Magic, because in the recent years I've kind of like fallen off Harry Potter a little bit. Like I'll still read the books and movies and things like that, but let's just say a certain undesirable person associated with Harry Potter is kind of killing my excitement for the series anymore. And also the fact that it seems like the line is mostly based around Fantastic Beasts, or at least that's what I heard from it. I wasn't too fond of the Fantastic Beasts movies, so yeah, that's something that I'm not super looking forward to. The Isle Burger looks awesome as well. It's really amusing because a lot of my friends at work, they love the How to Train Your Dragon movies. And I like them fine enough too. I really like the first one. I've only seen the second one once, and I've never seen the third one. But the Isle of Burger looks really cool. The dragons look awesome. I'm really excited for it. Now taking care of all that, we're ending this video off here. So thank you guys so much for watching this video for Splatoon 3, and next time, lead Gator to you. Oh yeah.